Hello everybody, this is your Professor Andy Molnar for PMGT 4030. This is an exciting time we have together. If you're new to project management, you are going to find this course interesting. A little fast-paced early on, but it slows way down. Stay with it. If you have been doing project management in the minor or the bachelor's degree program sometime, you're going to find this course also very interesting. Because it gives you an opportunity to integrate all the concepts, hopefully, that you have been learning. So I like to start out with, hey, what's project management really about for everybody concerned? Let me adjust the screen up. There we go. The top three most in-demand skills, according to U.S. News World Report: leadership, project management, and business analysis, or business analyst. And so this is critical to the success of business. Why projects succeed is everything a project manager does. We produce consistent results, strong communication, probably 90% of what we do. We manage the requirements. We define them early and up front because we know that changes later on are super costly and destructive to a schedule. We'll track those costs and in the end meet the stakeholders' needs, especially the key stakeholders, the decision makers. And we're going to track causes. Projects fail almost for the same reasons, but opposite. Poor soft skills, leadership and interpersonal skills. Bad estimates. We'll talk later about Parkinson's law and student syndrome. And scope changes, environmental changes, and missed stakeholder expectations. So largely, why projects succeed. The opposite, why projects fail. They're the same issues over and over. It's like landing on an airplane. You need the training. You're getting the training in this course. So when I look at a pilot, every time I walk off an airplane, usually Southwest for me, I like to look in the flight deck. Even though I flew for 20 years, it's neat. But frankly, to be honest, it's not that hard. Those guys and gals, they do a tremendous job, but they have had the training to do that job. So they got the training, they apply inputs, they use tools like checklists when the aircrew run checklists. They expect outputs. So when you put the gear down switch, you expect to hear noise like the gear falling down. You expect to then see 3 gear boxes go green, down, and locked, right? You measure for variances. If there aren't any, you proceed. If there are, you correct them. It's the same thing. Okay? As you get ready to prepare for the exam, for those of you that are going to do that, I ask you to refer back to this chart. On the left side, I used to give a pre-test, and all the students scored about 40%, and then a post-test, and they would score about 65% or so. Really, when you get to the testing stage, you don't want to jump right into testing, but when you get there, you want to be hitting about 80% on brand new tests consistently. That says you're ready to go. So how are you going to do that? On the right-hand side of the screen, we're going to study the PMBOK guide, and we're going to study Rita Mulcahy's book. And that's going to take us through those series of boxes going up the slide. First, you're going to read the PMBOK and read his book and highlight it, underline. You're going to reread possibly. You're going to summarize concepts and memorize definitions. Because project management is at one and the same time a philosophy as well as a language. And this is a scenario-based test. So on the quizzes, which won't begin week 1, but will begin next week, you're going to get a lot of scenario-type questions. And it's not the rote plug and chug answers. It's an understanding, a deeper understanding. You'll see that. Don't be frustrated. Do the best you can. We have ways to accommodate it. In the PMBOK guide, refer to the pictures and study them, know them. Those come up on the test often. A lot of people use mnemonics and flashcards. I was never a flashcard fan, but I have had friends. It was a big success for them. And so do that. If that's what you need, then you can often purchase them online. So consider when you're taking tests and you miss a question, take a special notebook and make a note of why. You never want to miss that question again. There was either a language or a philosophical thing that we missed, we didn't teach, you didn't grasp. It doesn't matter. Let's not get it right again. Then you should really start practice tests and be ready for the exam. Okay? And it's going to kind of like be a change management curve. You're excited, it's going to get hard, but then you start the road upward. And even if you don't go to take the exam, you end up with a level of knowledge and expertise that you can use in the workplace. And every workplace, I don't care what job you do, does projects. Okay. Many of you will want to consider, if you're going to take the exam, I would recommend that you go to www.pmi.org and sign up for the sign up to be a member of PMI. So you'll click on in the picture on the right, you click login or register. In this case, register. It's normally $129, though prices sometimes change. Usually a $10 initial sign-up fee. And you can join. It'll ask you eventually, do you want to join the local chapter? That's, oh my goodness, that's $30. I recommend it, but you certainly don't have to spend the money if you can't commit the time. They're great group of people. It is nice to network. Then you would click on for your certification over here. Then when you're ready to apply, you would click here. And of course, this is my page on PMI.org. It doesn't say apply for the exam because I've already taken the exam. It knows that. But that's where you would click. Okay. If you're going to take the exam, this site is extremely helpful. The test is $405 if you're a member of PMI, and it's $550 if you're not. So frankly, they're giving you this website for free. What else you can get on this website, though, are job ads. You'll search for jobs. I have jobs fed to me every single day on the places I want to live in the world. And every day I see jobs that interest me. I'm very happy where I'm at, but just to know that that resource is out there, take advantage of it. Okay, on the test, both in my class and in the final exam for the PMP exam, there are many different types of questions. So we're looking for understanding and some memorization, especially of definitions. But it's a scenario-based test, so it's going to use both. There will be extraneous information, so if it's a long question, I always recommend reading the last line first. And of course, most are situational questions. Be aware of false acronyms, and acronyms that mean the same thing. RBS versus RBS, resource breakdown structure versus requirements breakdown. So those sort of things. And acronyms that look similar. EMV, earned monetary value, versus EVM, which is, or expected monetary value versus EVM, earned value management. So we'll talk about those in the course. Okay? All right. That is it for the initial, hey, where are we going with this and how do we get there? Welcome to the class. I am super excited. In the following recordings, I am going to skim over the information. It needs to be read. But the slides are good notes for anybody that wants to take the exam. In addition, though we don't have a test the first week, this material may be covered on follow-on exams, and especially a couple questions on the final. Okay? Super exciting. Thank you.